Hello, boys and girls. My name is Yoshi1907, and just unfortunately, we may not be seeing any more videos from me in this game for a little bit. But at the same time, you will, but also not. Oh, I guess I kind of talked weirdly. Anyways, hello guys, my name is Yoshi1907. Long story short, welcome back to my 100% blind playthrough finale of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I did make sure to check stuff, and we pretty much got everything. In the last episode, we finished the very last quest we needed. We now have 376 out of 376 requests done that aren't EX, and this game only tracks the non-EXE ones. So, map, we have 100%ed it, and we got this item as a reward for doing so. Oh, and by the way, how you check that, the other stuff is, all you need to do is go into, we have Zelda's ceremonial attire. But that's an easy one that we get. The main one we're looking for is Link's set. There's 20 of these on each set, and we're supposed to have, what, like 66 or 69 or so of these? We might even get more, too, because there is still one challenge mission left. But yeah, if we have, I believe, according to the game, I'm still trying to remember this, because it's been a very long time since I've focused on getting to 100%. But yeah. Hang on, I'm just looking at it. According to the game, there are 69 costumes. Exactly. We have about 66 of them. And that was also, I think, including the DLC costumes, which we had the DLC costumes, so I guess we'll get 6 more whenever we finish the main game setup. But as far as we're aware, we're done with the main 100%. Absolutely, I am not sure what happened just there, but don't worry, everything's fine. Anyways, the reason why I'm excited is because, well, yeah, we're down to just one mission left. Also, even though Link got a cool weapon thing, we're not going to use him. I don't know why, but I like King Rome better. He has a lot of strong attacks and stuff, so we're going to go with the usual cover and this, and we should be strong enough to get this done. It's kind of strange that there is no level 100 requirement, but at the same time, it's probably better that it's not a 100 level requirement, because I assume if you're playing on a harder difficulty, you would definitely want to go to 100 and maybe even max the weapon. I think they probably put that into play for people who are doing a harder difficulty. I'm, of course, playing on normal mode. I guess I should have mentioned that, but as you can see, yeah, 20 normal story missions have been completed. All of the requests, which there are just 376 if you don't count the DLC ones, have been completed. And 160 of the 161 challenge battles have been done. So whenever we clear this challenge battle, we will have completed the base game 100%. And just as I thought, yeah, we have to do this without dodging. Oh boy. So this is another toughie, I see. Not gonna be easy at all, I see. This time we're facing all of the Ganons, but we can't use healing items in battle. I think this is a fitting way to end the challenge, I'll say. Because some of them are really tough. We could just run away while we wait. Then use our bombs to interrupt the attack. We're wondering why we're buffing our Sheikah rune damage so much. It's because we need to. It's how we basically do most of the damage nowadays. And then when it's much tougher, we could just run away by doing other stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, those food items we have, they're useless in this battle. So I figured they would have at least one more of these, but yeah, this is a tough one now. We have to deal with all of the Blight Ganon's attacks, as well as Ganon's attacks louder than likely as well, and all without having to heal at all. On the hardest difficulty especially, this is probably straight up the hardest challenge, requiring you to kind of play safe, and even on normal mode, it's not easy, obviously, in the slightest. So, we're probably gonna use the back straps, meaning running away and dodging to the back of certain enemies is probably our best option. I know this seems really weird to play like this, but this is the safest way to defeat them. One thing we can do to try to optimize, though, is to do a little bit of a combo before we attack them with our weak point smash. That can do a little bit more damage, and we can also hit them for free when they're trying to get up from getting stunned. And Fire Bite is already in phase 2. We can just run away from this entirely. More often than not, it's honestly safer to just straight up run away from attacks. As long as you're dodging fast, there's only a few attacks that can actually hit you. So, yeah. This challenge is more of a how long can you dodge and hold out for. If you attack aggressively, you're probably just going to die right away. What you're seeing right now, that's probably what you have to do for all of apocalyptic difficulty, which is this game's true hardest difficulty. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do a challenge 100% this whole game on the hardest difficulty only. Because I imagine even grinding is pretty tough with how much damage enemies deal in that mode. It'd be interesting if you just like had level 100 and max weapon and then try to do apocalyptic difficulty, because then at least the early battles would still be pretty trivial, but then the later battles you'd actually have to start fighting. I'm gonna go behind this guy. Like I said, besides just doing fast damage to them, you want to typically try and get behind the enemies. More often than not, the back side of them is a weak spot for them. Ooh. Surprisingly, I have not been hit yet. Do not want to jinx myself by saving that. Ooh, he's not done attacking, I see. That was one of the longer attacks that I did. Yeah, if I had food, I wouldn't be as worried. In fact, that other previous battle that allows us to use food, that's probably the battle I want to farm for weapons. This one is probably a little bit challenging for me. But yeah, I guess I should have mentioned, yeah, we are not playing on easy mode because that's way too boring. Thunderbite is probably the real challenge of the run. Super fast and annoying usually. So you kind of just have to wait for him to attack you first. And not to mention he actually has friends too that make it much harder to dodge, so he's probably where I'm going to start taking damage. Okay. At least I give you a lot more time for this. Meaning, if you're not fully powered up or playing on the hardest difficulty, you at least have a little bit of wiggle room for effort. Alright, this is the part where it gets really annoying. Pretty much have to keep dodging for a minute. Ideally, just wait until he does this. Then we could just throw that at him for a lot of damage. And from here, yeah, we're probably just gonna want to get a Furry Rush or two. Thankfully, that first one came pretty early. Okay, well, we already got rid of the second clone, too. Didn't take too long. As you might have guessed, the clones you probably want to focus on first in this kind of a battle. But then you also want to quickly take him out. So Thunderblight doesn't do anything too tricky. So yeah, we took a bit of damage, but honestly, we did a lot better than we could have. Alright, now we need to face the big boys. Harbinger Ganon, and then later, Ganon. Ganon is probably going to be the most tankiest and also do even more damage than the others. This, we probably just want to straight up use. Somehow, that didn't do as much damage as I thought. On the Statius, that is. My special, I probably just want to save as a backup for the later Ganon. Since we're back on the hardest battle, rather, we probably want to save our special as a in trouble button, basically, to press if we're about to get hit really badly. That could save us from a strong attack. Oh my goodness. Kept attacking even after that. Okay. That was a little bit trickier. As you can see, later bosses have a lot more tougher patterns to deal with. But even then, this is pretty much just the warm-up. So if we take a lot of damage here, then it's going to be really hard to face Ganon. Alright. Real Ganon has appeared. I think for him, we probably just want to spam stasis over and over again. Not going to risk using bombs against someone like that. So we'll just run away and wait for him to attack. Note to self, everyone, if you are struggling with the hardest difficulty, stasis is the strategy. Between using bombs and this over and over again, this is kind of how you're supposed to deal with enemies in hardest difficulty, since even one hit can sometimes mean your death. Of course, you'll always be able to take 2 hits before dying. However, there's not really a good way to take more hits when... Also, I just realized, because we can't use items in battle, we're not healing either, so it looks like that health thing that we picked up. You know, the food that normally is supposed to heal us. Well, that doesn't work here, apparently, either, so that's... makes this fight extra tricky. Ooh, that was very quick. He broke out almost immediately. See, look how fast he is. Sometimes they'll just get us out of nowhere. And again, I'm just barely not in range. Yeah, freezing him will help us with down. And that's for sure. Just one thing we could also do is just throw bombs from a distance instead of going up close to him. That's something we can also do. Probably be faster in the long run. Oh, we are healing. Never mind. It just is so long that I didn't expect it to not appear for a while. Alright. Well, barely knocked him with that in time. I guess one thing we could also do is just hit all of his weak points. That's something we could do too. That might be also good too. But I like using bombs a lot. We do the most damage typically. The other part is he doesn't always like to do these weakness attacks that we can quickly stun. There we go. Okay, that got him a little bit further. And we furry rushed him too, which helped out a lot. That was really good interruption timing. I'm pretty sure it would have been hit otherwise. That's what I meant by using specials as a panic button. Just waiting until you're almost about to get screwed. Alright. It's not that I don't like Link, I think for this battle, it's just I feel like the game will make this a lot faster. We'll probably use Link's new outfit in the next DXC mission we do. So, you'll still see it, just not right now. And we may actually get our characters to 100. There's still a lot of content to do. The only other way we could repeat grind is either do the other side battle over and over again, or do Siege of Fort Hatno again, but after quick part, just have someone stun Ganon, or just keep him in place while we clear out all the other enemies, because there's a lot of high-level enemies in that area we could do as beat as well for lots of weapon drops, which are even better than the other stuff we can get. But anyways, now we need to check what exactly we can get here. I think, actually, because I'm a little worried, I'm gonna check all the outfits by just straight up looking at it. I know we have the DLC one, so we could roll that out almost immediately. The rest is what I'm going to actually check, because if we don't have that, then we'll have to follow the guide to see what we're missing, so we can get that done. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, guys, I'm not actually being buggy. In fact, we do actually have everything. It's just that the reason why it's off is because there are actually other outfits, too. Urbosa and the other champions of the Divine Prince Riders have 4 outfits. And Zelda herself actually has 2 outfits. The ceremonial robes, which we've been wearing for a while, and this outfit, which we haven't seen in a bit. So, yeah, what I'm gonna do is actually change to the different characters so you can see their outfits. Only the Divine Beast Riders have this.
No matter what, we will see this through.
So that's Mipha's champion garb.
That's reassuring.
This is Urbosa's champion garb.
You have a lot to look forward to.
No matter what, we will see this through.
This one's also already equipped. This is Rivali's champion's guard. Then we have
No matter what, we will see this through.
Then we have his championship garb, as well as the non-championship guard, otherwise nothing.
I will fulfill my duty.
Please be careful.
Okay, well, as you might have guessed, that's actually the only other missing outfits. Together, those make up 6. That's the reason why I was a little bit confused. But as for Link's outfits, we just got the last few for completing 100%, and then each page is 20, so we have 20, 40, 60, 66, which does include the DLC, because yes, we purchased that earlier. So because we have all that, that confirms it. We have officially 100%ed. There's only one thing left to do. There was a battle I was going to do before to, like, show off stuff. I'm actually going to just straight up do that battle fully, because it's the only way we can see whether or not we've actually gotten all of our missions cleared. If we've done it. It should say 20-161 free 76, which it does. So this confirms that we have now achieved 100% completion for the base game of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Oh, what am I thinking? Age of Calamity. I mean, I still remember Definitive Edition, forgive me, but yeah, as you can see, we have all of 100% for the base game of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity done now. So now, all we need to do later is maybe do some of the quests in the DLC, and more importantly, we're going to do all the other challenge EXE missions that were added, as well as all of the memory quests. That's going to be what we focus on next, and once we do all those, we'll be done. There's also one more character to unlock as well, which is just a DLC character. As far as the other characters, we unlocked them all already, and you unlock them more or less automatically from finishing the other stuff done. By the way, it's surreal to see Link back in his classic green outfit. It looks really cool. Also pretty overpowered for this battle, so these poor captains aren't gonna last long. See if we can do it without taking a single point of damage. Probably not if they're archers, but otherwise, I think if we keep attacking, we should be fine. This is the mission I also mentioned is also good for wood if you need any, but we've pretty much done all the wood stuff already. Alright. It's a good way to show off this new outfit anyways. I hope you guys won't be super annoyed with our individual progression so far. I feel like I did really well. Did I get my characters to level 100? Absolutely not. I did not want to grind that. You saw how hard it was to grind to 255, so I'm glad we don't have to do it here. It's part of 100%. Honestly, the only reason grinding to 255 in Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition was good at all is simply because Definitive Edition has a really tough challenge mode that can be pretty hard if you are not max level. Once you are max level, it's all about just playing carefully and you should be fine. The boss challenge is where the real challenge is at, particularly the survival battles, that is. But yeah, this game doesn't nearly have as much hard stuff that is, unless you play on apocalyptic mode. It's nice that you don't have to beat every difficulty too. They let you just pick the difficulty this time, which makes it way easier. We'll probably do the same thing for normal difficulty as well, whenever we play that game. But yeah, as you might have guessed, yes, we're not done, because we're also going to make the map blue. I said I would do that, so we're gonna get every request completed and do every research task. In fact, just to make sure, I'll show you what my research completion is right now. As for how we get more of those monster items, we have to do some of the EXE battles likely. More than likely. Let's do this, since we now can do that.
Good work.
Oh, this is on our weapon capacity upgrade. As if weapons didn't need more capacity upgrades, now we have more of those. Oh, now we have to use remote bombs to defeat a certain amount of enemies. I like how there's little mini challenges to do. But yeah, that's my completion. And then, oh, hello. Vicious monster sightings. The folks of the Royal Ancient Land have covered some unusually vicious monsters. The battle will be difficult, but well worth the trouble. It's question mark. Huh, interesting. They're automatically set to level 78, but other than that, it doesn't tell you what specifically to do. But Of course, we don't need to do any of those for 100% completion on the base game, but for DLC, we still have a long ways to go before we're done. So I think I will stay true to my word and now try to keep getting diamonds, because I know we need a lot more of those for the DLC stuff. Anyways, here's the important part. I want to show all the level weapons that we have. Link is probably the closest to max he'll get. He's at 65, 25 out of 30. Impa, we more recently got to level 20. This just proves that you do not need the level 30 weapons to finish this game. They just make the harder difficulties easier more than anything. Of course, building the weapons is still an important part of doing that, but this is what everyone's using, if anybody's wondering. As you can see, the not-so-great answers only have level 11 weapons because we only really need them for a few missions. It's not like I didn't use certain characters more, it's just some are just straight up bad, and others are not as interesting for me, so that's why I didn't use them as much. Koga, I wanted to get a 20 weapon actually, but we still need to use him a bit more. We might use him a bit in the DLC perhaps. So far, Keen as my next strongest weapon. Keen Rome is really great. I recommend everyone use him if you're struggling with this game, because he is really strong. Then we have this. Then we have Calamity Ganon. And the only one we're missing now is... Oh, hang on. I did not even notice you there in lobby. We're still equipped with a level 1 weapon. Let's fix that. There we go. As you see, Per and Ravi are the only ones that didn't have a strong weapon. Wow. Wait. This is level 1, and it's stronger than our previous weapon that we got. Alright, well, we're definitely equipping that then. But yeah, those are the weapons we have. As you can see, the characters we just got don't have as great of a weapons, but the characters that we used for longer, they do have great weapons, which is gonna make them do a lot of which I think is nice anyway. So yeah, that was our character progression, but other than that, if you guys looked at the correct setup, yeah. For the most part, we have gotten absolutely everything we can in the base game. Let's see what our gallery looks like, actually. This is another important way to check it. Since we finished the whole base game, at least 100%, we should see our gallery, which should more or less be mostly complete. I think the only thing we're missing here is some of the new villains, and mainly the new Ganon that got released. There's one more DLC character we haven't gotten, but otherwise we should have all of these. We can even change these to reflect the equipment we have too, which is cool. There's a lot of story stuff, but yeah, we should have all of this, because after all, we did do everything. In fact, you can watch each of these too, and view the narration. It's great. Then we have all these quests here. The Hope of All Hyrule, that's the important one. If you see that one on the list, that means you've done everything. Other than that, we don't have a lot of EXE ones. Most of this is actually just this normal collectibles. We have like only a couple of EXE ones. This will get expanded whenever we have the EXE ones. But yeah, I wanted to show how much we've completed this game's collectibles. Because there's a lot of quests. It takes a long time to scroll through them all. This one's a lot shorter. Then we have all the music. Again, lots of different ones. And then this is just some status that we've done up to this point. Metal boxes electrify. Wait, we can electrify metal boxes with Raj? Okay, I have to do that a little bit. Perfect guards, that's really tough. You need to, like, be really good at the game for that. And only Link can perform a perfect guard, I think, so. Anyways, I need to end the film, but more importantly, I think I need to end this episode, because, yeah, we finished this game 100%. That is so exciting, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed what we showed, and if you're confused, just check the first part of this video. That's what shows what... Those are checked for 100%, and for the most part, otherwise, yeah, we've done it. We've gotten everything done in 100%, which means this is another game ticked off a list. Once we get through the DLC, of course. You thought we were done? Of course we're gonna do the DLC still. Still, the biggest part of the game is done, and I enjoyed it a lot. So now we can finally start using the EXE stuff, and it's gonna be exciting. So yeah. If you like, you guys enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.